I'm Miranda Capps, and this is for my Communications 201 class. Do you remember what you did 11 weeks ago?
No.
Neither do I. Why do we expect our children to know what they did 11 weeks ago in school? The traditional school calendar gives our students 11 weeks of summer break, and it causes what teachers like to say the summer slide, where they lose so much of what they've learned in the previous school year that they don't retain a lot of that information. The traditional school calendar was brought about to benefit farmers because years ago farming was our most essential way of earning income. So it was brought about in order for students to go to school and be able to be available to help on the farms during this busy summer months. I can't tell you the last time that a student came up and said, "Miss Capps, I had to spend my whole summer working on the farm." They just don't do that. Many of the students will take vacations. But I'm here to propose to you why year-round school is better than traditional, because of the flexibility of schedule, the academic benefits, and less teacher and student burnout. First of all, I'm going to tell you about the flexibility of their schedule. There are many different schedules for year-round, but I'm going to talk to you about the 45-15, where they go students would go for 45 days, which is 9 weeks, and would be out for 15 to 3 weeks. This allows students to retain more of the information. It's a better balance. They're only on a break for 3 weeks, so the teachers are not having to constantly spend their time catching them up on what they have already learned. They're also able to enjoy all 4 seasons. You know, now the only time that families can go on vacation is during the summer months, and that's the peak season. So if they're able to go on vacations during, say, the fall or the springtime where it's not peak season, families are saving money because it's not peak season. And my family and I like to enjoy all 4 seasons. We like to be able to have that flexibility to go on a vacation more than once a year, if possible. Also, as you know, we got bad weather this year. In the traditional school calendar, they don't allow for bad weather days. There's no wiggle room. They take away our holidays, they take away summer breaks, and possibly even Saturdays. Well, at the county where I work, they took away our Good Friday, and Memorial Day we have to go half a school day, and they took away a few days at the end of the school year. So with that's with the traditional calendar, but if we implement the year-round schedule, they could take away one of those weeks that are already planned. Say they have that 9 weeks and then they're out for 3, they could take those bad weather days and make them up on a week that they're scheduled to be out, not taking the holidays and the Saturdays and the summer, which they wouldn't get that long summer anyway. The next benefit I'd like to talk to you about is the academic benefit. As you know, we have a lot of English second language students now, and it's detrimental for them to lose everything during the 11 weeks of summer. My son is in kindergarten, and he is expected to read on a level E by the end of the school year. And what that means, they read on a levels A to Z, and kindergarten is expected to read at a level E. And for those that are on grade level at the end of the school year, you give them 11 weeks. They might come back in the fall in first grade and be reading at a level B. So that's 3 3 reading levels behind where they're supposed to be, leaving them frustrated, and the teachers it's practically unreasonable to think that they could catch them up with 22 students in their classrooms. Also, the disadvantaged kids, they may not have books at home, so they're not getting that reading time and stuff that they need. So it's just 11 weeks is detrimental to our English second language students and the disadvantaged students because they lose so much over the summer. But the year-round schedule would allow them to have the tutoring during the first week of the 3-week break that they would have at the end of each quarter. So it's continual teaching, continuing learning, and they're not falling as far behind. So they're staying up to grade levels. Also, as I spoke before, the 11 weeks of summer, when they come back to school, teachers are having to use a month of that first week of school to assess what the students have retained. And it can be almost impossible for them to catch them up in that month, so they're losing instructional time for this school year that they're starting. So with the year-round schedule, they're not losing as much, they're just continuing, and they're transitioning a lot easier, so it's more balanced schedule. Also, the testing scores. Students have it fresher on their brain, so there's more higher percentage of passing rates than with the traditional school year. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about is less burnout. Students have less burnout because there's more frequent breaks. As you know, I don't know if many of you have worked with students or children, but when they get restless and they're ready for a break, it's hard for them to learn. They're anxious, they're wiggly, they get in more trouble. So I think whenever they have more frequent breaks during the school year, it allows them to be able to get recharged. They have that 3-week break, they're able to recharge themselves, refresh, they come back and ready to learn, and that makes for easier transitions for the teachers and the students because they're like, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to learn, and they're more focused. There's less absences with year-round school and students because, I mean, with the changing of the seasons, you might have those with allergies get sick. I mean, and personally, I've had, when my kids get sick, they usually are out for 3 or 4 days. Where, I mean, it's not always going to happen on the convenient times, but it could. I mean, if they got sick during a week that, hey, they're already out of school, they're not missing that instructional time, so that would be good. It doesn't always happen that way, but it could. For teachers, there's less absences with teachers also. You know, teachers get tired. They get worn down. They get tired of just, they have so much that they have to teach. There's so much stress nowadays that they have to teach these students. And there's so many requirements that they need breaks also. So those frequent breaks allows them to get recharged. It allows them to be refreshed and ready to come back basically with a new set of eyes. Okay, we've had our 3 weeks off, now we're going to say, hey, it's time to start learning again, and you can move on to your different subjects. Their professional development can be year-round instead of just in the summer months. And also, with less burnout, they're just feeling a lot better. And in conclusion, now that we've talked about the flexibility of the schedule, the academic benefits, and less burnout for teachers and students. I would like to encourage you to take a deeper look and study into the year-round schedule and see its benefits, and hopefully call the school board and say, how can we implement the schedule? I think it's the best for our students, and it would benefit them. And also, the biggest opponent to year-round school is the fear of change. Don't let that fear of change discourage you from doing what's best for your students and your children. Thank you.